The Pradhana Mantri Khanij Kshetra Kalyan Yojana. After agriculture, mining is the second largest employer in India. Most of India's minerals are located in forest areas inhabited by tribal, backward, and deprived populations. It can be argued that the nation's unemployment problem could have been solved to a great extent and inclusive development achieved if this sector was accorded more importance. Realizing this, Mines and Minerals Development and Regulation Act, that is the MMDR Act, has been amended in early 2015. The new act addressed two root issues underlying the mining sector. First is reinvigorating the mining industry by bringing in transparency and laying a greater emphasis on exploration, and the second is distributing the profits and other benefits from mining to affected people for stable mining atmosphere. As a part of this, a separate fund was earmarked and established exclusively for the social and economic upliftment of mining affected people and places. The Mines and Minerals Development and Regulation Act of 2015 provides for District Mineral Foundation in each district affected by the mining operations. To preserve the virtues of cooperative federalism, the Act empowered state governments to frame rules pertaining to this foundation. In September 2015, the Ministry of Mines has issued guidelines for using the funds accruing to District Mineral Foundation. This scheme is called as the Pradhana Mantri Khanij Kshetra Kalyan Yojana, and this scheme will be binding on the state governments too. The scheme encompasses all facets of development: social, economic, immediate and long term. There are three main objectives. The first is to implement various development and welfare projects and programs in mining affected areas that complement the existing ongoing schemes or projects of the state and central government. The second is to minimize or mitigate the adverse impacts during and after mining on the environment, health and socio-economics of the people in mining districts. And the third is to ensure long-term sustainable livelihoods for the affected people in the mining areas. The end goal of the scheme has been emphasized so as to cause substantial improvement in the quality of life. So let's take a look at the highlights of the scheme. Here are some pertinent facts concerning the scheme which are important for administrators, legislators and citizens concerned. The scheme is applicable with effect from January 12th of 2015. Mining leases executed before January of 2015 will have to contribute an amount equal to 30% of the royalty payable by them to the District Mineral Foundation. Mining leases granted after January 2015 through auction will contribute an amount equivalent to 10% of the royalty payable. The total fund generated under the scheme is expected to be around Rs 6,000 crores per annum. The scheme earmarks 60% of the expenditure of this fund for high priority areas and 40% towards other priority areas. Areas included under each head comprise the high priority areas and other priority areas. The high priority areas which need attention are drinking water supply, environment preservation and pollution control measures, healthcare, education, welfare of women and children, welfare of the aged and disabled people, skill development and sanitation. The other priority areas which need attention are physical infrastructure, irrigation, energy and watershed development, any other measures for enhancing environmental quality in mining, and lastly, any other measures for enhancing environmental quality in the mining districts. The scheme removes ambiguities and defines who are the beneficiaries, namely the directly affected areas, where inter alia direct mining related operations such as excavation, mining, blasting, beneficiation and waste disposal etc. are located. The second are the indirectly affected areas, where the local population is adversely affected on account of economic, social and environmental consequences due to mining related operations. These could be deterioration of water, soil and air quality, a reduction in stream flows and depletion of groundwater etc. The third beneficiary are the affected people or the communities. Families identified as affected family and displaced family as per the right to fair compensation and transparency in land acquisition, and other families identified in consultation with the Grama Sabha. In line with these definitions, it mandates that the District Mineral Foundation, that is the DMF, to maintain a list of people and places under these categories who will be considered as the actual beneficiaries of this Pradhana Mantri scheme. Some special provisions for scheduled areas have been made in this scheme too. The process of utilization of the funds under this scheme is guided by various acts relating to the scheduled tribes and scheduled castes and forest dwellers. The Grama Sabha of the affected villages will have a major say in approval of plans and inspection of reports. Other important features of the scheme are: the corpus of scheme is dovetailed with the ongoing and existing welfare plans mooted by the center and the state. An amount not exceeding 5% of the annual receipts of the foundation may be utilized for administrative, supervisory, and overhead costs of the foundation. Staff or manpower for implementing the scheme to be taken on contractual basis and no scope for permanent employment. For mining affected areas which fall under 2 districts or a welfare plan that involves people or places outside the district of operation, clear rules have been laid out in the guidelines. All the work or contracts are to be awarded in accordance with the rules issued by the state governments. Transfer of the funds to agencies or beneficiaries are directly to the bank accounts. Each district mineral foundation, that is DMF, has to maintain a website and make public all the data concerning details of self, beneficiaries, funds collected, minutes of meetings, action taken reports, annual plans, and status of the ongoing projects, etc. The accounts of the district mineral foundation, that is a DMF, has to be audited every year and included in its annual report. The District Mineral Foundation, that is DMFs, has to prepare annual reports within 3 months of the end of the financial year and should be laid before the State Legislative Assembly and find a place on its website.